Hello and welcome back to Good Game Nation, where we bring you all things TCG. My name's Preston and welcome back to news. It's a news day and I'm so happy we finally got something. Maybe just two quick promos to look at, but news has cards to talk about. It's so exciting. I'm so happy to do it. So let's jump straight into the first one here and we'll talk about where they're we'll talk a little bit about them as we go. So here is our first boy, Shanks. Shanks, red character, 6 cost, 7k power, 4 emperors, red hair pirates, 1k counter. Down ×1, when attacking, you may trash one character card from your hand, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 1000 power for the turn, then draw a card. That's quite nice. And we'll talk about where the art comes from when we talk about the second card. But when it comes to this card in general, I think this is our lowest cost Shanks that we have. If I remember correctly, all of them are like 9s and 10s. So it means it's the weakest powered Shanks we have. None of this really matters in the long run. I think all characters should have a decent variety of the power levels and stuff like that. I think it keeps it interesting. But let's get to its effect. It has everything good going for it, in my opinion. Counter, an on attack effect, and maybe the best way to do this, which is you have to have a card in hand to get rid of to activate its effect. So as a cost, you get rid of a card. You get to do something cool, minus 1000 power to a character, and then you get to draw a card. So you get to recycle that one card in your hand that you got rid of. And I'm a big fan of that. So you can't just activate it and get a card, you have to have a card in hand. So there's a small restriction there. Minus 1000 to a character power while attacking helps you get over characters, and it stops them from possibly having a counter to counter out of the attack, which is nice. That's basically what Shanks is doing right now. And from what I've seen, Shanks started off this format fairly good, and I think it's slowly dropping as people realize that the older decks and other leaders are still stronger than the Shanks leader. So anything to keep this deck from falling into obscurity like most decks do, I'm a fan of. So I'm all for it. I'm pretty sure the decks are going to probably want to play this just to get this type of effect on board faster. And yeah, let's move on to the next one here. And oh boy, it's a Buggy. I love getting Buggy cards, and this one is a treat. Buggy, blue character, 7 cost, 8k power, cross guild, 4 emperors. This character cannot attack. If your leader is Buggy, all cost 3 and 4 characters cannot attack. On play up to one cost 6 or lower cross guild type character from your hand. What a wild ass card. It's so strong and it can attack. So it's just going to sit there, which is really interesting. Your opponent's going to have to figure out how to reduce its cost to get rid of it, reduce its power to get rid of it, because it's just going to sit there and stop all of your 3 and 4 cost from attacking, which is so specific. I wonder if the translation that is on Discord is off, because only targeting 3 and 4 cost characters is super weird. It's not like a 3 or under, it's not 4 or under, it's 3 and 4 only. That's so bizarre to targeting just 2 cost out of everything. I wonder in game design if they just determined those 2 are going to be the most beneficial to stop. Like, it's so weird. Anyways, on top of all of that, just craziness. I feel like that's such a crazy effect so far. He gets to play a 6 or lower cross guild type, which plays into what Buggy's doing and trying to get super wide and have a lot of characters out so that the 10 cost can be activated and stay. So that's super interesting. I don't know what the Buggy deck is trying to do, really, besides get wide. So I don't know if this is like helpful. And the permanent effect, maybe that no, because there's no weird way of getting around this permanent effect right now. If there's a blue-black Buggy at some point, and we can use like the Blackbeard cards to negate his effect so that he can attack, that might be something. But who knows? It's such a weird, funny card, and it has some great art. So over here, I opened it up so that we could see it. The Shanks was illustrated by Suzuki Yuto, a manga artist. I think he's currently publishing Sakamoto Days. I think I'm saying that correctly. But that's the Shanks art. The Buggy art is done by Yusata Kiyosuke. Oof, I should try to read these names beforehand. But that's another manga artist. Look them up, see what they're working on. Look both of them up. If you haven't read their stuff, read their stuff. Why not? But yeah, I just wanted to bring up the artists. We're guest artists and published manga artists, which I think is super interesting. That they're able to keep bringing manga artists on to draw One Piece characters for the card game. I think that's super cool. But we do have two quick things that I thought were interesting this week to finish out this week's episode. On the official website, they updated the rules for which versions of the cards you can use. And if I remember correctly, English version was just these four regions, North America, Latin America, Europe, and Oceania. And now has opened up to these following regions. I don't know why any of these regions want to use English cards, because they're going to be able to play with the Japanese cards sooner. But also, I don't know how much Japanese these regions actually speak. So it might be easier to have the English cards so that you don't have to like carry around a stack of translations anyways. Not sure exactly. But if you are in one of these regions that share a language, you are able to play both versions in the same deck, which I think is super good. There are other card games, I believe at least when I was a lot younger, Yu-Gi-Oh! Played any language in your deck, and it can be a mix. And that's where I want this to get. I want it to continue to expand so that they'll just put no language restrictions. And I think that would be, for like collectors, I think would be really interesting, as well as just balance out everything. If they eventually do a catch-up so that English and Japanese are released at the same schedule, I could see them getting rid of all of these and making it so that you can play any language version as long as you have a translation of that card for someone that possibly does not know what the Japanese says or whatever. That's where I would like the game to get. I think it would be super nice, and I think collectors and players at some point want to have other language versions in their deck. Certain people do, at least. I think it's super cool, and I think that we should move towards that. The last thing is the English Twitter was pushing this the last few days, so I just wanted to bring it up as well. Release date for the next Starter decks is October 25th. I think we've known that, but 15 through 20 are all coming, and I think the reason they started talking about it is because of this. The premium booster that is coming in each box, which I don't think Japan did this, and I don't know if they were just worried that these weren't going to sell as good, so they had to throw in the first prints of the best card collection, which is the next booster pack that comes out in like probably early to mid-November. But yeah, each deck is going to have one booster pack of the best collection. I'm not sure if I like that, because that means these are going to get gobbled up really quickly when you only need like one of these and then the extra 2 super rares or whatever. or just 2 of them flat. Now collectors are going to gobble them all up, take the booster packs and resell the crap they don't need, which I'm not a big fan of. I wasn't a big fan of it for the last starter deck that did that. The Ultra Three Brothers had booster packs in it that had special cards. They got bought out and you really never saw them in stock, so that kind of sucks. So I'm afraid that's going to happen with these as well. Good for business, bad for players. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you excited for these 2 promos? Happy to see new card reveals like I am. Tell me what you think about the rules and language restrictions, and how you feel about premium booster packs coming in the starter decks. It definitely makes that $12 price point worth it, because you're getting your full deck and a booster, which is kind of crazy. But how do you feel about the thought of access to these starter decks just dwindling because of it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. If you want to get more One Piece TCG content, hit that subscribe. Until next time,